All right, so because she's over there, we'll show like this. All right, so for these joint locks, this is Schweiger, okay? So you go ahead and punch. So we can do this or we can do this, just as a setup. But right now you're working on this one, okay? All these details are very specific. Okay, can you see this real close with the camera?
Yes, sir.
All right, bring it up a bit so you can see, like right in here. Okay, so we're gonna come over and then under this way. Now, I'm going to have your elbow in the center of my chest. I'm gonna have my elbow on your shoulder, and then my wrist is on your wrist. Now I come in here, and I'm going to hold my own wrist. Now I can do this too, but just in general, if you hold it like this, it should be enough. Now sometimes you want to get a better grip, you can come in like this, and it's fine. But you notice the angle that I have you at right here, it's a V shape. It's very specific. The arm has to be in a very specific position. You can't be like this, because then you can roll out of it like that. You can't be like this, because then you can roll out of it like this. It has to be in a very specific position right here, okay? So right there, where the joints don't really work that way. They're not supposed to be that way. They're supposed to work in this position, they're supposed to work in this position. They are not supposed to work in this position with the elbow. And then the shoulder is not supposed to work under that condition right there. Okay, so you have to get the arm and the shoulder in a position to where it is not supposed to function that way. That's the whole point of this. So every joint lock that we do, that's the idea. So which one? Here we go. Okay, under here. So I'm gonna have my elbow on your shoulder. I'm gonna have, for our basic, let's go ahead and hold right here for just basic understanding. So elbow on the shoulder. Let's say my wrist or my hand is on yours. Take a look, your elbow is right here, dead center in the middle of my chest, right there. Now I come up under and I'm gonna grab this way. Now, I'm going to turn down and up. So I go down with my right hand and up with my left hand, or my left arm, at the same time as I turn. Okay, and from there, you can take it. Now once I have that, I raise. Okay. Now, if we're in a stand-up position, and we're in this position, and I want to add more pressure, then I just tighten it up right in here, okay, and squeeze. Now, you can try to roll out of this, okay, try to roll out. Okay, you're not going to be able to get out. So this is a hold or a takedown. So there's holds and there's takedowns, but there's also breaking. Okay, so if I want to break it, what would I do?
Everything you did, but faster.
Yeah, you do it in a speed that the arm cannot handle it. So I would go, you go like this, and this is, the arm can adjust. Your arm can adjust. It might hurt. Somebody might not be as flexible, so it might hurt them and might, have a small tear, or, they might get bruises from it or whatever. But that's not how you cause major damage. If you're in a life and death situation, you got to fight multiple people, you got to deal with this person, or maybe you're just fighting this one person and they're a handful, and maybe they just won't stop. You have to disable their arm. Okay, you get their arm, you get into that position, clutch in this way. So you tear the arm out of socket. Okay. Now, is that what you want to do? Well, no. But you don't want to fight anybody if you don't have to. But if you have to, these are the tools and the options that you have available to you. Okay? Now, do you want to go tearing your uncle's arm out of socket if he puts his hands on you and is trying to wrestle you and he's drunk? Probably not, right?
No, sir.
Okay, so every situation has a certain application that you want to do for that specific situation. Okay, now I'm going to have you try it. Okay, so I'm going to punch. Remember, this is we call this wrong bong set. It's a cross hand bong set. Okay.
Sir.
Okay, so we'll turn so the camera can see it here. Okay. Now details. What were the details I gave you?
All right. Elbow in the middle of the chest. My elbow on your shoulder, and then keep your arm in a V shape. So somewhere around here.
Okay, it's not somewhere around. It's specific and exact.
Yes, sir.
If you don't have it, it won't work. Okay, so go ahead and crank it and see if it works.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I can straighten my arm out. It's not that I was trying to straighten my arm out. You went as far as you could, and it wasn't right, so I just straightened it out. Okay, try it again.
Yes, sir.
It's either right or it's wrong.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you're getting right, so the camera can see. It's right under here. Okay, so take a look. Right here, you're getting that locked in, right under there, so that's good. Okay, go ahead, keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, you lost it. You almost had it. You had it for a second, then you turned out of it. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so again. Now, if you turn this way, go ahead, turn this way. And I can just turn this way. I can just keep turning. You can't really do anything to that. Okay, do it again.
Yes, sir.
Slow, slow.
Left
Okay,
touch.
go. Okay. Nope, you don't have it because your arm is in the wrong place over here. Okay.
Sir.
Better. Now stop.
Stop.
Now go forward. That's, now you're locking it up down underneath where my shoulder blade is. Now go forward more. Okay. Forward more. Now turn. Okay. It's better. It's not all the way locked in, but it's better.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So I'll show you an example, a better way to see it, how it feels. We come, let's say we do bong set on this side. Slide in under and catch. Okay, now this one is very simple, very easy to see. You crank it up like this. Now you have to have the exact position. Okay, you come in like this. This is the position right here. Okay, so if I come in like this, okay, you guys watching?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. I come in like this, crank it up. Now, I do my takedown. I hold that position all the way through, even as I'm turning. Okay, you see that?
Most of it, sir.
Okay. So, even as I turn, I can lose it as I turn. And then they can roll out of it easy. But I don't want them to roll out of it easy. So you have to turn and hold that position and kind of adjust as you go. And you go down, but when you're training, you go down soft. But when you're in a bad situation, you got to deal with somebody, you have to assess who it is first, and then you have to decide what kind of damage you want to do. You want to let them down easy, okay? Because if I do that same move, I come here and I drop it easy, then, see, it's hard to hold there, so I might just come in here on there and then drop into this, okay? Now, I'm not putting pressure on his head, I'm just, for the video's sake. But, I might put a lot of pressure on his head, and then, hold on.
Oh.
From this position, I might lock it in like this, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll forward like that, and then roll back on the elbow. Okay, so these are very simple, basic things. Now, if I didn't like you, and you were bothering me a lot, you weren't my student, I'd roll my knees, full pressure on your head and your ribs, and roll back in an armbar position. So you're gonna have a really bad day. That's what we call that. So But the takedown itself, you want to hold that position. If you lose it like I did right there, once you go down, you switch to something else. So people say, oh, that doesn't work because you lost the position. Yeah, but the joint locks, they're not meant to be held the whole time. The idea is that if you can hold it, that's great. But people move, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
People don't like to be in pain, right? So the idea is if they move from one position into another position, you get them in that other position. You get to another joint lock, a different type. And then if they move out of that, you get them in a different joint lock. Okay? So your knowledge of joint controls needs to be very good. Okay, so that's, we do a lot of the chin on here. Okay? Some people don't like it. I like it. I like the elbows especially. Fingers, I try not to teach my students those until later because I don't, you gotta have self-control. I don't want you guys having your fingers all jacked up. Okay, so I try to leave those until later. Like when I went through, you first worked on fingers, then you worked on wrists, and then you worked on elbows. I do it backwards. You know why? And then shoulders, elbow and shoulders at the same time. I do it backwards. I do it the other way around. Why do you think I do it the other way around?
Possibility of injury.
Yeah, safety reasons. Okay. So I want you guys to learn the big joints that are harder to manipulate first, and then later on, like 1 or 2 grade levels later, I want you to work at a smaller joint. Okay, that's easier to damage. Then you go another grade or 2, and then I show you the really small joints. Okay, this is more dangerous. So I don't want you to work on the more dangerous ones to the ones you can get injured more easily. I don't want you and your Kung Fu brothers and sisters to work on those first because it's a higher risk of injury. Okay, you work on those later.
Sir.
Okay, once you have more self-control. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good.